HLE Radio, the morning show. Yeah, Heaven Breaks Loose. That's brand new music as well, right there. And that's the Needhams and Jason Gold. So the Coffee Bean Christian segment, as I told you, I wanted to get this on. I had to figure out the camera. And when you unmute the mic, it works anyway. So I want to do that. So we've been talking, there's 15 different stages that the coffee bean goes through. And yesterday I told you, being planted was the first stage of that. So 15 different stages before you even get to drink the coffee. And because I love coffee. A lot of you do. But of course, the second stage of that, it becomes a sapling. After 3 months of being buried in the dirt and being watered properly in the proper climate, you get a sapling. Now, the definition of a sapling is a young tree, especially one with a slender trunk. But here's another definition of a sapling. It's also a young, inexperienced person. That's also known as a sapling. So, much like a new babe in Christ, we have time to grow and get a root system under us. Have you ever heard somebody say overfruited, underrooted, right? And that's what happens a lot of times. I don't want to say lazy Christians, but a lot of times Christians, older Christians, they'll take a new Christian that's just on fire for God, right? They're just getting into it. And they'll throw them into a position like Sunday school teacher, men's director, some kind of leadership role when they're really not ready for it. And it does more harm than good to them. And it's just too early because they don't have the root system under them. Much like, because like I said, there's 15 more stages you got to go through before you even get to the place where you can even drink coffee. This whole process of the coffee bean, when I started researching this, I'm like, this is just being a Christian. It's the same. The parallel is unreal. So that's all I'm going to give you. This second step today. That's what I'm going to give you, a sapling. So number one is it has to be planted. It stays in the dirt. But after being buried for 3 months, you get a sapling. If it's watered properly and in the proper climate. It's got to be in the proper conditions, which I read to you yesterday, Mark 4, 3 through 20. It's the parable of the sower. In order for it to yield great fruit, it has to be in the right ground. And we all know that. So when we come back, we'll have more. I'll have new music for you. Christina Cole's new song. Right now it's Jackson Heights, The Basics of Life. On the morning show, HLE Radio.